order. Have voltage. Order, order. Have voltage.
Hello. Hi. How you doing? You alright? Good. Great. Great. Hello, Danny. Hello, Ems. Thank you both for the resubs. I really appreciate that. It's very nice of you to do that when I wasn't here. 9-month Ems. Thank you very much. 36 months, Danny. My goodness, the streak. The streak never stops. The streak never ends. Hello. Hi. We're here on a Sunday. On a rare Sunday treat, a rare Sunday outing, to return to the scene of the crime, to return to where it all began, so everyone knows who and what and why and where to blame for everything that has come since. No refunds. 202,000 points. 202,000 CD93 bits. If only you had anything of worth or value or entertainment to spend them on. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. We'll look into it. We'll look into it. Why is he over there now? I don't know. We don't know. We're looking into it. I've got my best people on it. They assure me that eventually he'll be sort of central again one day. We'll see. No guarantees, no promises. No promises, no guarantees. That's the only promise. That is the only guarantee on this channel. There's no promises. No promises, no guarantees, no hope. No point. But we do it anyway. We do it anyway. And today I thought I've had this reinstalled on my PC for some time, so we need to get out. No live troubleshooting. Everything's gonna work, and if something doesn't work, we're just gonna roll with it. because that's improv. That's improv. That's the nature of roleplay, and that's why we're all gathered here today. That's why we're assembled here today. All right. I've got no idea what I sound like, because one thing that never stops, apart from Danny's streak, it's also the fiddling around with EQs and compressors and noise gates and noise suppression. The mic stuff that will continue to evolve forever until we've done away with microphones and I'm streaming my voice using only the thoughts in my mind. Until that day, we will continue messing with the microphones, alright? So yeah, I've had this reinstalled on my PC for some time. So I thought we're gonna get this stream out of the way now. We're gonna get this stream out of the way. Because I thought it would be fun. We've talked a lot. We've talked a lot about our old Star Trek days, but we've never shown it. We've never gone back. We've never seen it. We've never revisited it in the way that it deserves to be. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna dive in to the total conversion for Star Trek Voyager Elite Force, Star Trek RPG X. This is Star Trek RPG X Ultimate Edition, which was a very late adjustment to this whole thing. Hello, Rek, how are you? Welcome in. Sure thing. Hey, everybody. Hi, hello. Hi. Hello, Ems. Hello, Danny. Thank you very much for resubs. I really do appreciate that. 9-month Ems. Thank you very much. 36-month streak, Danny. A streak never ends. Thank you very much, both of you, for doing that when I wasn't here. Hello, Rek. How are you? Welcome in. You're just in time. We just started the stream. We're here today to play Star Trek RPG X, which is where really my RP journey began. We're time traveling back to 2007. 2007. What? 18 years ago? Thereabouts? Something like that. I can do basic math. Why is he over there now? Why is he over there? Our best people looking into it. We're going to look at moving him back central. We're figuring out. I've got my best people on it. That's a bit we did earlier, Rex. Danny's just repeating a bit from earlier. So yeah, we're gonna look at this game and see how much it doesn't hold up, and just talk about it, because you know I've said this before. Actually, hold on. There's something you all need to see. I wish Fongman was here for this moment, but hold on. I've been doing a clear out, right? I've been doing some more. I've been tidying. I've been organizing. I bought more storage. Things are really getting in order around this particular room. So obviously, you know, we've shown and told our beloved copy of Future Cop LAPD for PlayStation 1 many times. We've gone over our reverence for what was the original MOBA. Really, no League of Legends, no fucking Dota, no Deadlock, none of that shit without Future Cop LAPD, right? Well, I'm very proud to announce that I found my second copy of Future Cop LAPD, very, very close to the first copy actually this whole time. This is the slimline version. This is the Atkins version. This is the diet version of Future Cop. We all prefer the thick version. Let's be honest. I think we all prefer the thickness. We all prefer the thickness, but it's good. It's good to have an air and a spare. It's. I'm glad we're both here, resting alongside my Loom floppy disks. So they're resting in peace in this Tesco net bag. I'm gonna put this away. These need to be protected. All right, where was I? Where was I? So we've told the story before, right? I had read about Star Trek Voyager Elite Force as a Star Trek Voyager fan in 2007. I had read about the Elite Force game, but I was not familiar until it was around this time of year. It was late August, early September, because I knew I was preparing to go back to school. But it's the Prince Harry copy of Future Cop. It's been estranged from me for a long time, but I'm now beginning to welcome it back into the fold. So I knew about this, and then I discovered on, I don't know, I can't remember the name of, there was a modding website for Elite Force. I don't think it still exists. I think it was called Elite Force Files. There's no way it still exists. Elite Force Files list. That's not it. It was like, it was literally like effiles.com or something. What am I going to find if I go to effiles.com in 2025? The domain name effiles.com is for sale. I could become the new owner of EF-Files. So there we go. So there was a big modding website for Elite Force, and the most popular mod was RPGX version 2. I believe it was version 2 at the time. But it was made by I think two developers primarily, of the company that they called Uber Games. I believe Uber Games was the name of the company. Oh, I know one of them was called Tim. I spoke to Tim a fair amount. I played Elite Force Hollow Match, which is the death match of Elite Force with Tim. I can't remember the other guy. Maybe Scott. Hold on. I think there was more. There may well have been more than just Tim. But there may have been more than just two of them. But I think it was Tim and Scott. I could be lying. But yeah, they released this thing. Version 1, maybe a bit janky, but version 2 is kind of when it came together and the scene, the community exploded. And much like GTA, you had all these big servers crop up with, fairly sizable communities. You had a whole bunch of smaller servers as well, or just gangs, groups of friends jumping in for sessions because they weren't, you had your mix of dedicated servers, but you had your mix of people just spinning up a server for a night and playing on that. So yeah, it became a surprisingly big scene. And when I jumped into it in 2007, it was kind of in its prime. And I hung around until it was no longer in its prime anymore. I'll jump over to this. This is if this works, boom, no delay at all, right there, ready to go. The first thing I'll say about this when you fire it up, there's no mistaking what it is. This is a Star Trek video game. And that's saying something in a world where the Star Trek license has perhaps been greatly squandered over the years in video game form, and in television and movie form, really every form, really. So hold on, let me I'm gonna bring Spotify back over here, so we've got something under this. Knock it down a little bit. So it looks like Star Trek. It sounds like Star Trek. It feels like Star Trek. So yeah, this is the main menu. And the first thing you do on the main menu, you create a character. So you create a character before you go into a server. What a weird concept, right? I know. Now you can do some things with this, right? Such as accidentally just delete the R so you become red shit. I'm sure many a person joined. By the way, You know, in GTA servers, when someone skips the character creator and they come out with just the standard ped with the white shirt, bald head, this is the equivalent. This was the equivalent. If you joined an RP server back then with the name Red Shirt, everyone knew what you were about. You've just installed the game. You want to just dive straight in. You're not bothered to do any customization. Everyone knew. You're brand new, and you're gonna need some help. You're gonna need some support. All right. And people did make guides for this, similar to what Diamond has done with for Let's All People. People all these different servers made their own guides. There was some official documentation for the mod, but much like GTA, there was almost a hive mind. Pardon the Borg pun. Almost a hive mind mentality between the servers of. There were things that carried over, no matter what the server, no matter what the community, no matter what it was about. There were certain rules and certain guides and guidelines and an expectation where everyone sort of knew bits and pieces. But people like me coming in fresh didn't know jack shit. So different communities did make their own guides to help people do stuff like this and make their own characters. So if you were making a character, you wouldn't just come in and go, I'm Mr. John Smith, right? Well, you could, but you'd pick a class. So let's say, I think the first time I joined, I think I joined medical. I decided I was going to work in the sick bay. I was going to be space EMS. Now you'd be sensible, right? If you were brand new, you wouldn't be coming in as fucking. Again, this is another thing that would expose you as being new to the scene. If you joined the server and you were fucking joining at the rank of Fleet Admiral, right? Because everyone wants to be in charge. No, that's not going to happen. That wasn't going to fly, right? That wasn't going to fly. Generally speaking, most of the time, like 80-90% of the time, Captain was the highest level, right? Captain was the highest level, and if you were joining a server, because the thing is that, obviously the fundamental thing about this is that this is not an open world game, right? You pick a map, and you play on that map. So if you're looking at the server list, which is tragically almost certainly going to be empty, if you were looking at the server list and it was a big server list, because these servers are cropping up all around the world, and you saw, oh, okay, well, people are playing on this ship. Let's say people are playing, for argument's sake, on Voyager. Then the highest rank on this ship is going to be captain. But someone would be thinking, well, actually, I want to be in charge. I'll come in as the Commodore, and I'll just say that I'm actually in charge. That didn't really happen. That wasn't going to fly, unless you'd agreed it beforehand. Because people set up these things, right? People would set up. This wasn't because it wasn't an open world, because it wasn't a continuously living organic thing like GTA role players. You would arrange dates for this, so it'd be like, okay, Saturday nights, 8 p.m. That's when we're going on this server, and we're going to continue that story, right? So you had a week to prepare, which is so weird thinking about it now. Waiting all week to RP for 2 hours and then that's it. But it was like an event in RP. It was like an event in RP is today, when you have a set time. Everyone plans around it. Everyone's there, right? You weren't waiting on people. You weren't wondering if anyone's going to turn up. You weren't chasing invites, right? Everyone was just going to be there for that one burst, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Obviously, multiple things would run throughout the week. So there might be something on Saturday. There might be something on a Monday. There might be something on Sunday. There might be, people would write stories that would go on for weeks and months and years in some cases. But throughout the week, people would just, all right, I'm jumping on the server. Who wants to join me? And stuff like that. So there was always something going on somewhere. But you would really put the biggest focus onto those weekly sessions. Those were the big ones, because those were the ones that were really being taken seriously, and people were writing like genuinely in-depth, complicated, impressive storylines for those things. I like to think that I could count myself amongst them as well. So yeah, let's say I wanted to join medical. You'd need to you put your rank in your name, and you do that using this system. So you have different like one is red. So if I was going to be the captain, if I wanted to be the commanding officer, I would put CO in red, and then I think 7 is white, and then my name. That's how you do it. If you wanted to join the medical team, then maybe I'd just be medic. Oh god, can't see my keyboard. There we go. So now I'm a medic, and people can tell that I'm a medic. And when you look at the player list, because you can go in game, press tab, I think it is, and you see the player list. So you'd see everyone's role in different colours, and it actually worked quite well as a system to easily see what everyone was. So you do that, and then you could pick your model. Monroe here is the main guy from Elite Four, so he's the default model. But you know, not all of these are vanilla. Like some of these would have been put in for this particular version of the mod. But you had everyone from the base game, so all the Voyager characters were the main ones, but then people would be, you know, generic. Let's be generic, and then you'd have different things again. People would mod the shit out of this. So here's, okay, this guy doesn't have a Stargate skin. Let's find out. Let's do a Stargate skin work. Okay, maybe not on all these guys. Okay, there you go. So, because there are so many maps and mods for this game, but also so many different versions of skins, so here you are, here's your Stargate Atlantis skin for the Nelson model, which is very funny. There was some Stargate LP servers on this game. Expanse. That's not the Expanse we're thinking of. This was I'm guessing someone ran a series, or you know, a storyline called Expanse or something, and because people would make their own, like people do for RP servers now. People make their own uniforms and stuff, and they put packs together, and they'd throw them in and make them available to put into your own, or they were rolled into the mod officially if people liked them enough. So you had all these different skins. We'll go for this Voyager skin here. There you go. Oh no, he's only got gold. Well, this crashed. Look. Worth pointing out, this is running on the Quake 3 engine, alright? Thankfully it's easy enough to spin back up. Let's not go for that skin. I feel like some of these are busted. Like, this guy should have, like, the Doctor should have the regular skins. Maybe to play it safe, we'll just go with Monroe here. So we'll go teal, because that's obviously the colour of medical staff. Everyone knows that. And we'll launch into a map. So you have all these maps that are just from the base game. You could any map from the story missions, because it's the Quake engine. You could just launch into any of those maps and use them. But obviously there were some maps rolled in to RPGX by default. These are the two main ones, Poseidon B and Runabout. Hello, Fenkirk, welcome in. Did people fight over who got the privilege of being Neelix? Not so much the privilege of being Neelix, perhaps the privilege of killing Neelix. Killing Neelix was a very, very popular thing to do in Elite Four, so many, for obvious reasons, really. We're going to launch into Poseidon B. This is the first map that I ever launched into. It was one of the base maps. It's very good. It was very polished. I don't remember the server that I originally launched it on, but it was running this map. So we'll just jump in, which I imagine won't take too long to load. In 2025, we're in. Excellent. So here we are in the transport room. Look at that. Very nice. Very nice. We've got a basic kit here. We've got our tricorder. No, there's a command you can do. Hold on. Is it F5 to go third person? Yes. This is you can change like the camera angles and shit. Hold on. Yeah. I'm using the numpad to change my camera angle. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, what have I done? I'm at a really bad angle now. Alright, it's all over now. There's no fixing this. There's no fixing this. I fixed it. I need to be closer. Okay, closer but down. Down a bit. No, that's left. No. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. But what's down then? There's no down. I found it. There's a down. I found it. Alright. Alright, there we go. Bit closer again. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Now, there is a way. There are 2 camera modes, but I think you have to go into the console to do it, and I don't remember. I don't remember the... Like, you would have the things, the item you're using just come up as well you're playing a first-person shooter. Or there was this mode, which meant that you were seeing your... You know, you're looking first-person, but as though you're actually looking through your actual eyes and you actually see your third-person body. Which I guess is more immersive, I suppose. So you've got an action key, which lets you interact with the world. So like, different things will be interactable, so you can, you know, pull these panels off here, stuff like that. Make transporting happening. There you are. Fantastic. So obviously this is all stuff that you would work into a map. It's a bit, hold on. Let's go turn the game down. The game sound down a touch. So these are the crew quarters, as I understand it, as I remember. Oh, this is the player menu I talked about. So obviously you have a list of people. You could see where they were on the map, assuming whoever designed the map put in the locations, and you could see I'm in quarters 2. And this is where you would see people's IDs as well, because some things never change. Look at my ping. My ping is so good on this local here hosted server. That was, you know, you'd compete about having the best ping on a server. Obviously, that's never changed. So if you just want to be the dude who runs the transporter, you could totally do that. Some maps would allow you to be transported around. In fact, if you were, let's say for the sake of argument, I become an admin. There we go, class admin. I have become a server admin, and people would see that. People would know, oh shit, someone's logging in as admin. Time to get serious. What's the admin? So this is the admin panel. You could teleport people around. So if you wanted to actually do it for realsies, you could be on here and you could be over there. And right, we're going to a bridge now. See you in a bit. There you go. You could fake shit. You could really fake shit in this game enough to make it work. So here we are on the bridge. We should have used the turbo lift, but we're here on the lift now. Now, when I first joined a server in 2007, I couldn't find anyone, so I decided to come to the bridge. I had no business being on the bridge, but I came up on the bridge, and pretty much the whole server was up here. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. I'll see you when you get there. Pretty much everyone was up here just drinking coffee. It was a Star Trek coffee morning going on this bridge. And obviously, the thing to remember as well is this was not. You could do voice chat. You could do voice chat, but it's not built in. So you could, you know, team speak it or whatever. But not many people were doing that. This was all text speech. You had your global chat. So if you were doing a if you were on the bridge and you wanted to talk to someone in sick bay, what you'd do this. That little you can't really see it, but it's, you know, it's equal sign / / $, which looks like a it looks like a comm badge. So you do that symbol and then you type, so which is sick bay. So then if you saw that on the other side of the map, you'd know that someone was talking to you. But you also, if you were just in one place and you only wanted to talk to people on the bridge, you'd use local chat. Because I'm an admin, admins could see all the local chat, so you'd get it twice if you were logged in as admin. But that's basically how you communicated. Like everyone could have been on, everyone would gather in one place and complain that everyone was gathered in one place. Yep. It's like, why is no one in engineering, right? Why is everyone up here, you bastard? So it was up to, you know, depending on who was running things. Like if I was the captain, it would be up to that person would genuinely be leading the roleplay, right? Like in character and out of character, they'd be deciding the story beats, and they do it. Either they would pre-arrange stuff out of the game, or generally speaking, I think you would like you could DM people in game, right? You could whisper to people. I don't remember how to do that. I genuinely do not remember. I've just activated a fucking laser. But you would DM people. So I would say I wanted the ship to suddenly detect another ship. I could DM someone here whose responsibility that would be on the bridge to say, find us this ship. This ship's approaching ours. So then they would report that in character, and we'd react to it accordingly. So that's how things would be organised, and it would be up to whoever was running roleplay to make sure that people were in the right places and playing their roles, you know, in a decent enough way. You know, they had to actually take command and boss people around. Because as I say, you know, this was all happening on one map, so it's not like GTA where you've got different businesses and different factions all spread across the map. You're all in the same faction. You're all in the same group. But, you know, depending on the map, there's still things you could do. So we can put the ship to warp. Well, that's nice. Some things just go beep, 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 beep. Over here we've got the alerts. We can go to red alert. There we go. Oh, no. Okay, apparently there's a button that makes the lights flicker, so you could simulate damage that way. Without red alert, which is nice. I imagine we can fire the phase over here. Here you are. I was the boss. I ran my own little series for a bit. So this is the conference room. I'm pretty sure we can do things in here. Here we can pull down the things. Very nice Red Dwarf reference, thank you. I appreciate it. Not enough people would appreciate that, right? But I do. I fucking do. To pull down some things here. This is the captain's office, the ready room. And because it's Voyager, all the stock pictures and stuff are all going to be Voyager related to us. Janeway and her dog. I'm pretty sure you can pull up a screen here. There you go. Here it comes. Obviously you can do emotes. There's a whole emotes menu here. Obviously you would bind these things. Apparently I binded bench sit one idle to Z, which I think was always my default for sitting down. So you just press Z, there you go. Different ones for different chairs, obviously. This is too far back. But that's pretty cool. Let's go explore the ship. Can I make the light stop flickering? There we go. With a turbo lift. So we'll go down to engineering. Well, let's go one at a time. We've been on deck 2. Let's go down to deck 3, which is the holodeck, the mess hall, and astrometrics. You do have to do emails. You do have to do emails here. Obviously, it wasn't Discord until late. Discord, I think, the very, very late period Discord came on the scene. But back in these days, you were all doing this on forums, right? This was still peak forum era. Here's a holodeck. Some maps had working holodecks. Like you would be in here, press a button, and it would change. It would actually expand. And have all kinds of shit going on. It's very cool. So we'll have a look at some other maps, obviously. I just wanted to go on this one because it's like the stock one. So here's the mess hall here. Obviously, you know, if this is, you know, going to Uru, you'd go to the mess hall, and maybe you'd have one guy who only RP'd in the mess hall, and they would hang out here most of the time, waiting for people to come and eat and drink and stuff and socialise. Obviously, there's no actual survival mechanics. It was a purely, hey, let's go eat. You know, your hunger and thirst isn't going down. But probably mods that did that, to be fair. Here's astrometrics here. Sensational. No messages to display. Objects error. There we are. That's nice. Actually see a bit of a map glitching through there. Still pretty cool though, isn't it? You know? Still pretty cool. You get the like a TARDIS effect here. Exactly, Finker. Exactly. I bet it was a guy in skin. I'm pretty sure it was a guy in skin. I thought for sure. Well, there will have been a guy in skin, but it might not be in by default. But you've got Picard here. You've got fucking I remember this skin. I remember someone who exclusively roleplayed with this skin. I appreciate it. We're gonna continue to be this skin. This is some good mirror tech for you, Danny. You like mirrors in RP. Quake-free mirrors, huh? Better quality than GTA mirrors. Fucking hell. Look at that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Go down a level. What else we got? Deck 14, Armory, Cargo Bay, Engineering upper level. I just thought the turbolifts were cool. Split up the map. And then the turbollift essentially teleports you to another part of the map. That's right, it's cool. It's cool. It was good. It was good tech. It was a good use of the tech. Here's the armory. You know, so again, some maps would let you come into the armory, and this is how you would pick up a weapon. You would just use your use key on these, and this is how you would get your things. There's a rifle there. TR-116. One for Deep Space Nine fans there. This is the admin gun. You could do effects with the admin gun, or put down mines for some reason. Photon burst. Fantastic. Disruptor. If you were Romulan or Klingon, this is what you'd be using. Guaranteed. Medical supplies, hyperspace. Hey, look. Actual medical tools which healed people. Actually healed people. Hyperspanner. You can pretend you're repairing things that have been damaged. There you go. There was a lot. There was a space for DS9 stuff. There was never a good Deep Space Nine map. There was one which did a bit of it, it was just like a corridor. Like really towards the end of my time with it, one came along. I think it's in this pack. We'll check it out actually. We'll go to that next, so you can see this is a base game map that came with it, and then we'll look at something that came out like 10 years later. There you go. Again, we talked earlier about, you'd mark the cards of people who came into a server with the name with just like the default red shirt name. You thought, oh, they're new. But you'd also have like people called 2Vix was right, 69. They join the server, run down to engineering, and fucking just eject the core or something. I don't know if you can eject the core on this map. I know you can turn it off. I don't think you can eject the core, but maybe you can. There was a way, like if you scanned things, as an admin with your tricorder, you can actually see entities.
Energy reserves reaching critical stage.
So these are the things you can interact with. There is a way, I don't know these commands anymore, there is a way to enable it so you would have a description of what the entity does. And I think that was also map. It was up to the map creator to put those in as well. They weren't necessarily, it didn't just auto-assume. Maybe one of these ejected the core. No, that's a force field. You can put a force field up around the core. Maybe you can. Alright. Oh, these are showing us entities, but maybe just because of the lights. There were definitely maps where you could retract shit and the core would actually leave. You could do that on the best Voyager map, I'm pretty sure. Maybe we should check out the Voyager map. I've locked down engineering by mistake. So not every deck was its own place. Like, you got 3 levels all intertwined here. So you got 3 decks that you can literally jump between. Here's the break. So you lock people up in here. Very good. No, it's not the cargo bay. The cargo bay is 1 up, I think. I don't think there's anything else on this level. How do I jump X? Cargo bay is 1 up. In the base game, before we add on, you could summon an unfinished record over a console command and it would show up. I've got my Spotify thing over. It would show the name of asset like that. Okay, I'm guessing that's how we did it then. Oh shit. Okay, I forgot you could do that. When you're an admin with a tricorder, this is actually cool. This is actually cool. So if you right-click with tricorder, click again to confirm transport location. Location confirmed. If I ran up to a player now, like over here, and did that again, use my tricorder on the player, it would transport them to that location. That was just a way to be deceitful. And this is Elite Force 1. This is Elite Force 1. There was an RP mod for Elite Force 2, but it never got there. I don't know what it was. This scene never really took off in Elite Force 2 the same way as it did here. Don't ask me the reasons why. Just never did. People would import Elite Force 2 maps back into Elite Force 1 to do this. I think we'll see one of. I think we'll see the Enterprise as a result of that. Yeah, it was just the more popular game. There were things about Elite Force 2 that would be cool. You know, they did some fun. They did some stuff when it came to flying the ship around from the inside. But again, maps. One of the maps we're going to see did that in this game. So this is sick, babe. This is where I would. I think probably medical was my favorite. You know, I do some EMS stuff in Let's RP now, but well, I have done some EMS stuff. I'm thinking about doing more EMS stuff in Let's RP. But this was a nice easy one because people respected the medical staff. Someone had to do it. It was a dirty job, but someone had to do that med RP. Oh yeah, I thought there was a shuttle bay. Here's the shuttle bay. I don't know if you can do it on this map, but sometimes you could crawl into. Hey, look at that. Here you go. So this is some tech for you, right? So let's say you were going on an away mission in a shuttle. You could get some shuttle RP in. Because look, suddenly it looks like we're in space. Now this one doesn't have any entities, but some of them, like you go to the shuttle and you could go to warp in the shuttle, so you'd be like you're out there, even though everyone knows you're just hiding in there. But that's the fun. This game people did some cool, fun little things with this game that just made it work. Made it work for a very long time. So that's Poseidon. We'll look at another map. So that's an example of a base map that came out that the Uber Games team put together. If I can find it here, I don't even know if it's in the pack by default. So obviously that's an example of a base ship. You got loads of different ships, like fully fledged shuttle maps, dedicated shuttle maps and runabout maps. And then you had ground bases. You had little colonies, Earth-like maps, star bases. We'll look at one of the star base maps. This was a fun one. This is Starfleet Command. Starfleet. It's a mix of Starfleet Academy and Starfleet Command. If you needed some time at Starfleet Command or Starfleet Academy, this is the map you'd be on. Everyone knows this location. So it's like in real life, this is like a water processing plant in San Francisco, I think, or something like that. What was the inspiration for this? So this is where you'd hang out. I would enjoy spending time in NoClip in this game, just like I would for realsies, just like I would in GTA, honestly. NoClip's a bit slow, but obviously it's a small amount. There's this maze here for some reason. There is a better version of this map. There was a lot of Elite Force 2 assets for Starfleet Academy. And someone made that version of this map here, and it looked a lot better. I don't remember what it was called. Command? Let me just see if it's on the list, first of all. There's not much else to see on there. There's a little courtroom There's some offices in the main building and the courtroom, and that's kind of it. The courtroom was cool. The courtroom saw a lot of use for court martials and stuff. I want to say the other version was called like Command or something. Not all maps appeared on this list either, by the way, which is a weird little quirk of the game. So yeah, here you go. Here's your Enterprise. This was also made by the Uber Games people. Will and Anthony. That was the other name I was thinking of. I loved the courtroom stuff. It felt like genuine drama. I still love. We just had that big trial in GTA. I still love the courtroom stuff. So here's your big Enterprise map, which is cool. You know, big old corridors here. Quarters 3A. You gotta love a curved corridor, right? You gotta love a curved corridor. Some of them's not really impressive. Like the work that actually went into them was really cool. Oh, it's a big old deck, right? Obviously, you would be selective of your map. You wouldn't want to be on this map with 3 people, right? If you only had a few people, fire up the runabout, alright? Is GTRP just like Cops and Robbers stuff? No. Obviously, depending on the server, yes. There are a lot of GTRP servers. And some care more about storytelling and actual character development than others. Obviously, there are a lot of just Cops and Robbers servers. Our server is called Let's RP. We've been around since 2022. So you'd like to think that we've got a handle on it at this point. But you know, we keep it all together. And you know, there's a lot of civilian stuff. I work at a cat cafe, for example. So you know, I hang out, I make the food, people come and buy the food. Danny here is a journalist. I also work for. I'm also a journalist for Weasel News. There's a big emphasis on civilian-based roleplay in good servers these days. And obviously, you know, a lot of the open servers, a lot of the public servers are hit or miss in my experience. We're a whitelisted server, so you've got to apply. It's easy to apply. Like, if you apply, you'll probably get in as long as your application is anything remotely competent, right? But it's just that extra step that makes, you know, people who are coming in are serious about it. And you know, it's not over the top. Like you still, if you want to rob a jewelry store and just have a good chase with the police, you can do that. But if you want to do your slow burn storylines, or just, you know, make your own business, like that's the kind of thing that is encouraged, and we do our best to support. Someone came in with an idea for a business recently, and you know, we've put in a whole storefront for them, and it looks really cool, and it's all functional, and I really love it. I really love this shit. You know, I loved this shit in 2007. I still love this shit now. Hi, these mirrors, man. Perfect mirrors, perfect reflections. No fake shit. Again, there are multiple versions of like the Enterprise E. There are multiple versions of the Enterprise D. Some were more readily available and complete than others. What's the Voyager one? Let's go to Voyager. This is the map that made me want to. This map was in development for a very long time. Obviously, this is because being a Voyager fan, this is the map I wanted to RP on. That's why I got into it, pretty much. Again, I don't know if it's in the list or not. Not all maps are in the list for some reason. Cassini is technically, you know, an Intrepid class map, but it's not the Voyager map. I'm gonna open up the directory because I can actually just see what maps are literally in the fucking folder. RPG Voy 4. So I'm guessing I can just... Is it just map RPG _ Voy 4? Not Voy 4. Voy 4. Boom. Second time. So this was the most complete Voyager map, and I think it's very impressive. I thought it was very impressive. Transport room. I remember there being a nice attention to detail, which is why it took the map so long to be finished. It was worth the wait when it came. Look at this. Everything was just a nice scale. So even if you only had a few people, it felt a bit more crowded. He says, looking at this massive corridor. So I think I can tell exactly where we are based on the end of that corridor. Here we are. Here's the captain's quarters, obviously. Obviously, he says. All the Voyager fans in the room. We have some crew quarters here. Some bunk beds. Yep, some bunk beds. There you are. And you could announce yourself, ringing the bell before you go in. Some more crew quarters behind those doors. Jeffrey's tubes. You could actually get around the map in the tubes. At least on certain decks. Something open. There you go. But you know, not everything would take you everywhere. But there you go. We're in sick bay now. Whoops. Apparently there's a transporter system in sick bay, so you could just transport people here, which is cool. Force field, there we are. Very nice. Probably just make some noise. Some, you know, technically curved corridors. Beautiful. What's this? This is a morgue, man. You want to be the ship's undertaker? You can be. You can be. Just head straight to the bridge. Like, this was mind-blowing shit, man. Back then. Like, here we are. I mean, look at this. What other game has this? Today. All the, you know, 2 decades later, what other game has this? The answer is none. Like, you've got Star Trek Online, which is, you know, it is what it is, but not this. No one thought to, you know, this is a fun thing that people do. Like, you'd either have the actual plaque up, right? But people would also like change these names. The people like in the community, which was a fun thing. I'm trying to think if was I ever on a plaque somewhere? Am I on a plaque on one of these maps? I don't know. Bridge Commander. Bridge Commander was the other one, right? Bridge Commander was cool. You could get mods and shit, so you could walk around the bridge and mod in all kinds of different scenarios and stuff. But Bridge Commander was really cool. I liked that. I liked Armada 2. I liked Armada 1 and 2 as well. Obviously very different types of games. But nothing like this. Did I just lock the doors? Here's a deep cut Star Trek Voyager reference for people.
Doors are sealed.
I've locked myself in again.
Doors are sealed.
How do I unlock the doors? Computer. How do I unlock the doors?
Doors are sealed.
Welcome in, Napoleon.
Doors are sealed.
Yeah, that's right, Fenkirk. Some actual Star Trek knowledge in the chat. I'm gonna have to no-clip out the fucking ready room. I'm trapped. Check it out. There we are. I love that episode. Play fancy sound. Here we go. We've got some descriptions. Quantum torpedoes. Oh, that's funny. Look at the top left. 198 of 200 left. 197 of 200 left. Limited quantity of quantum torpedoes. Unlike the real show. No quantum This is not a canon Voyager map. Voyager did not have quantum torpedoes, did it? Red alert. There we go. Even dims the lights. as it should. Fantastic sensor scan. Tractor beam. Turn that off. Open channel. What's that? Transport on or off. Turbo lift on. You could turn the turbo lifts off. Can we like? Oh, I think you can land the ship, right? Because Voyager can land. Voyager can land, right? So we've got a blue alert. There we go. I'm pretty sure you can land the ship. Landing start. Landing starting procedure. Here we go. Boom. Look at that. There we are. Can we go to the bowels of the ship? I'm pretty sure. Go down to deck 15, the maintenance deck. This is where it all started, Napoleon. This is where my RP journey began. 2007. This was real. This was real RP, right? God, here we are. Pretty sure there's a window. Now, does this window change as well? Because it changes the skybox. There you go. There you go. Consistency. We've landed. We fucking landed. No voice chat. This is all text chat. I remember that Star Trek Enterprise FPS. I remember that. People adapted the maps for that. As well. I remember at least parts of it. Like I think parts of it were transferred. Possibly to one of the maps I wanted to look at. I'm going back to the bridge by mistake. I want to go to engineering. I'm pretty sure we can inject the core for realsies. On this one. Sorry, wrong thought. Hold on, let us take off because the core will be disabled while we've landed. So we want to take off again. There was something recently that's obviously never gonna happen. There was something about Scott Bakula coming back to do they've proposed doing a thing. Someone's written a script somewhere where he's going to be president of the Federation or something. They use this map on Gmod? Do they? That's very funny. That's very funny. Deck 11, here we go. I'm talking like that came out in like the last few weeks. That never happens though. It's like how many times will Star Trek Worf come on the cards? Now I suppose at least we got Picard season 3 in the end, but here we go, engineering. Look at this, beautiful, beautiful. We can 100% eject the core. Here we go. There we go. See you later. So, if you wanted to grief an RP server back in these days, you'd run to engineering and just eject the core. That was the most heinous crime. Never mind VDM and RDM. Ejecting the core. That's the worst thing you could do. There's things you could pull out here. Remember that. Maintenance cycles.
Warning, emergency procedures in effect.
Different
The
alerts.
storage tanks are failing.
A lot of fun things.
Attempting to make correction. Step 5.
Core breach.
Attempting to make correction. Unable to comply.
Like some of these sounds would play across the ship, across the whole map. In fact, you can fucking we go in here. Hold on, let me actually put on my headphones with this. I put a new I had to charge my Maxwell's for the first fucking time last night. The first time. I think it's living up to its 80-hour promise. I've got a new headband for it. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot more elasticated. It's a lot more comfortable now. Let me put these on. So something else you could do apart from just releasing skin packs. People would also release music packs because you could quite easily play music across the whole server, right? And there's a lot of music built in now these days. This is a fun little thing. Hold on, let me pause Spotify. I don't know. So these elite ones, these are just for base game music. If I play that. But the thing is, this music would now be being played to everyone on the server. And more often than not, there was always music playing on an RP server. Like, just some incidental music, some background music. And then, you know, the admins would change it up based on what was going on. And again, as people... Apparently someone was running an RP series that translated to STD. Star Trek Discovery, perhaps? Hold on. Battle. Hold on, this was the theme for STD, whatever it stood for at the time. No idea. No idea. But it was fun. It was fun that you could do this. So this is the main credits for the Star Trek Elite Force. I'll just leave this running. It's like if you got into a battle, you'd play some battle music and everyone could hear it. Like how many times we've done that once in GTA. We did that at the end of the 2.5, and that's kind of it. Because everyone's in the same scenes, essentially. Everyone's in the same group. You could get away with doing this shit. And it was fun. It was fun. What's the shuttle bow? I'm pretty sure you got the Delta Fly ahead of me. I can force open these entities. If I change my activate entity key to L, I can force activate stuff. Allegedly, oh, that's still on laser. They don't. Oh, that no. Hold on. Use entity L. There we go. There we go. What's a good map? What's a good map? Let's have a look at the space station. Let's have a look at... There were a few which were good. I think the big ones were... I think Station Modas and Station Vanderbilt are very similar, if not the same. Just like reskins. Station Station Iowa was another one. Another big one. Look at Station Iowa. Privacy mode off. Is this a space station? Space station RP wasn't always that, you know, wasn't always like a permanent fixture. You would mostly be in ships, I would say, but then you would visit space stations, so you'd change the map and visit a space station and go back to your ship. Because you could change maps mid-session. Obviously, everyone would have to come with you. Or people, you know, if not everyone was going on an away mission, for example, then people would switch characters. You would agree, like, okay, this team's gonna go down. So... We just want to have a working holodeck? No. So you would agree sort of either at the time or beforehand, like, okay, we're going to do an away mission, so these people are going to beam out the ship, and then we change map to wherever the away mission is taking place, and the people who didn't beam down would, you know, become characters in the new location, or become baddies or whatever. Look at this fucking capture the flag asset here. Fantastic. Blowing in the wind. Station Iowa was faked. There's no wind. There's no wind in the space station. Let's go to the command center. Level 1, let's go to ops. Oh, I gotta use the thing. Let's go to the ops center. Conference room. Ready room. Be shielded so you can hide your presence. It's funny. It was either an alien outbreak, Napoleon, or an infection, right? Big, you know, it'd be a big med RP situation. Everyone would be infected and diseased, and you'd have to quarantine areas of the station. Fucking personal transporter here. Very good. Let's go see the sick bay on Station Iowa. I don't remember what it looks like. I'm still Duckman, by the way. No further questions. Science lab. Impulsive again, because it's a Voyager game. That's what all the pictures were. Species 8472 up here for some reason. There you are. Void space. Jeffrey's tube. Oh god. Yep. Because I'm an admin, I can just clip through force fields, and I'm not supposed to be here. There's nothing here. I put down my own force field. No, it's not enter key. I don't know what it is. Could be anything. There you go. F, would you believe? There you go. Again, because I'm an admin, I can actually see it. If I wasn't an admin, I wouldn't actually be able to see that it's here until I hit it. Oh, this is sick base. Pretty big, actually. It's nice. It's cool. Actually pick up some equipment. You actually, there you go, what I talked about earlier, you can actually pick up the equipment here. So I'm guessing the armory would be the same as well. Oh, let's try it out. Here we are. The armory's locked. You've got to unlock it. Armory's unlocked. Fantastic. Yes, man. Oh, yeah. You can pick them up. Look. No, maybe not. I don't know. They are entities, but anyway, that's fun. Let's go see the other space station. Let's go see Station Vanderbilt. I remember Station Vanderbilt very well. We did a lot of roleplay on this map. This map has a Deep Space Nine like promenade with like civilian stores and stuff, as I recall, which is pretty fun. I think you have a science lab here. I think you have a sick bay at the end. Nice. People could be creative with their doors and things. Everyone will try to one-up each other. But these are nice doors. I like these. It's cool. Nice little sick bay. Security office here. Brig back here. I'm guessing this is the armory. Yep.
Security access required.
Gotta unlock the armory. You can't just have any old guy coming in here. No idea how you unlock it, but... Oh, there you go. I'm in. If you knew about this back in the day, you would have loved it, and I don't know if it was exact... You know... What we say about... The thing is, right, as this was for Quake 3 engine, right? It was an old game. By the time it was wrapping up... Oh, there you go. See? Working holodeck. Working fucking holodeck. What did I say? What did I say? How fun's that? Actually transforms into a space bigger than you're in. How cool is that? There was a growing sense of there's nothing else like this out there. Why isn't it as active as it used to be? Right? Like... And it was simply because it was an old game, it didn't have built-in voice chat. But for those of us who were still playing it at the time, it was still the real shit, you know? All this work had gone into it. And now it's, you know... lost to time, I suppose. It's old memories. Got these little stores. Apparently there's a theatre down there. There you go. Little theatre behind those doors. Flower shop. Travel centre. So this is where people would arrive. Arrivals and departure times. That's very fun. Got your gates over here. There's no actual ship on the other side of these gates, but still. That's very fun. That's very fun. There's some more things over here. Klingon Bistro. Yes. Romulan Ale Store. Apparently there's a bowling alley over there.
Please specify deck desired.
Let's go to the hangar deck. This, I believe this map has a very impressive hangar deck. Unless I'm thinking of the other one. Well, the fact that it's called hangar deck and not shuttle bay should really be... I'm thinking of the other one. I mean, it's still impressive. We'll check out the other one, though.
Shuttle bay doors open.
Is this one where you get blown out if you disable the fucking... On some of these maps, if you disable the force field, you will get blown into space. Which is very fun. We'll go see the op center of this one. Cargo bay. I think engineering was cool in here. So let's see, engineering. Engineering and the computer core. Starbase 4, of course. Apparently I put down my rifle in the armory, so I don't have it anymore. Long way down to engineering here. Computer core, apparently. It's engineering. Very nice. It's like a mix of, what is this? Meant to be like a mix of Starfleet and Romulan technology, perhaps? Perhaps. Eject the fusion core.
Projection initiated.
There we go. I've ejected the core of a space station. Now what are you gonna do? Do the turbo lift still work? No.
Unable to comply. Unable to comply.
The turbo lifts no longer work because we've ejected the core. That's funny. That's very funny. Bring it back. It's back. That's great, man. That's great.
Specify deck desired.
I'll check out the other one. I want to see the massive hangar deck of the other map and thing, you know. It's a long way up. Oh shit. Oh yeah. So right click is how you hold on. I'll show you something. I'll show you something in a second. Whenever we get there. Are we stuck? No. I thought we were trapped in the turbo lift for a moment. So this is the opposite of this space station. We're gonna go to red alert here. Yes, man. I left the tractor beam on. There we are. So what an admin could do is create effects. So let's go with explosion, radius 1, shake intensity 3. So if shit was going down, let's say I was how do I... So I'm invisible now. So I'd be invisible to players. If shit was going down here, I could be simulating damage effects and stuff. which was cool. You can put down sparks. 1,000 equals 1 second. I don't. So, oh no, this panel's damaged now. We put down these spark effects. Steam was popular, obviously everything, whenever it was damage to a ship or something in Star Trek, you always have steam knocking about. Oh no, it's been breached. Shit like that. There was a command to clear all these effects. Fuck knows what it is. You could do chunks as well. Fire. That's small. Give me bigger fire. There was a lot you could do to set a scene and to, or you know, a lot of set decoration you could do on the fly and stuff like that. Which is added to it all. Was really cool. So the other one I'm thinking of is a very similar map. Is Station Modas. Version 2. Final. Let's go to Final. I think this is the one with the massive hangar deck. I think it's pretty much based off the same map, but... yeah, you see the similarities. Like this is... sick bay's over here instead of a mess hall, but this is the same layout. So if we go down to the hangar deck this time... it's ironically called Shuttle Bay and not Hangar Deck, but it should be called Hangar Deck, because wait till you see this. Look at the size of it! I like this guy's jumping noise. Oh, he's opener. Yes. Yes. Is this one you got sucked out of if you were... Is this one I was thinking of? Force field control. Ah, you see? So I think when the lights are on, you're protected. We're going to open the doors. But I think if we disable the force field...
Unable to comply.
we can't. Doesn't let you. Let's close the doors. If I can. I can't close the doors.
Unable to comply.
I don't know why I can't close the doors. The door's closing.
Unable to comply.
So it won't let you. But what if... oh, there they go. Yep. Yep, we're fucked. We're fucked. I'm an admin, so I'm fine, but yeah. You totally get sucked out. Or blown out. That's funny. Again, another Star Trek trolling method right there. So I think the one, like, the most advanced map, by the time it was all said and done, I don't know if it's in by default, is the thing. Let me check my list again. Let's see if I can see anything that looks like it. I can't remember what it was called. Danger Sea. It might not be in. Which is a shame, because it would be good to show off. Because it was kind of its own separate modification for a long time. I don't think it's here. I don't see it. I don't even remember what it was called. Relativity, no. Serenity, no. Ariana. We'll check out Ariana, I think. Some of these maps are definitely not on this list. The one I'm looking for is not here, I believe. RPG Command, is that the one? RPG Academy. I think this is the one I'm thinking of. I was thinking of from when we were checking out the Academy map. I've copied that. Let's have a look. Expanse V2. I'll put the Spotify back on. Yeah, the one I'm thinking of isn't in, I don't think, but we'll check out this one. So I think this is one that imported assets from Elite Force 2 to be an upgraded version. So this is a map, you can tell already how much more impressive this looks compared to the last time we were here. Just a lot nicer, a lot more detail. I think we can go up to some of the offices here. You got possibly a classroom over here? No, I was wrong. Maybe on the other side. Let's go to the headmaster's office. So again, if you wanted some Starfleet Command or Starfleet Academy stuff going on, this is where it'd be done. Boom. Yeah. There's definitely a like a server that ran like a political RP. So like you'd have the president of the Federation and all courtroom based stuff and stuff like that. That was always popular. It would have been fun to see that other map because, oh god, look at this auditorium. There you go. His little classroom. This is fun. Holodeck attached to it. I don't think I did play Space Station 13. I don't believe so, anyway. There's not much to show. There's not much else to show here. It's like you're just going through different maps, really. Because different maps, have different possibilities, right? So we've done all space-based stuff, but people were making maps based on the ground as well. Rura Penfei, the Klingon prison planet, for example, was a popular destination. There you go. We go to Rura Penfei. Minari in? Minari's in. We'll check out Minari as well. Here we are, Klingon prison planet. Some maps came with their own built-in music. Obviously, you could just change it out on the fly. No one's gonna get annoyed by this, right? Elevator here. How do I summon it? I don't know. Hold on. I won't be defeated by the, I should bind no equip to something. Little thing here. Let's see if there's actually a way to the surface. It's very slow, no equip, there we are. This map's got a little bit of this map's got layers to it. It's pretty cool. A map I used to like was Minari. People would make, like, pirate ships and civilian-based vessels as well. And this is one of those. This was fun because it's a very small ship. If you only had a few of you. Crew little bunk beds here. There's room for 4 people. But you'd be in space and you do all the spacey things, but you could also land this ship. So if you open this panel, press that, we will commence landing. And here we are, we're actually landing. In real time. Here's some tech for you. Here we are. And now that we've landed, if we go back to where we came in, this little cargo lift here, we're now on the planet. And there's our ship. These were my favourite kinds of little maps. A few maps did this. But you'd create a little ship and you'd hide it above a larger map, and you could actually get out your ship and go exploring. I thought it was obviously it's the same place every time, right? So you'd have to accept that. But it was always fun to have an excuse to do it. Don't know, this was like some little Klingon outpost on this planet. I don't think there's actually anything else to see. It kind of loops all the way around, but just fun. Just a cool little bit of tech. The other one that did it really well is called Ariana, I believe. There it is. Beta 2. Is there one more current than Beta 2? Or did it never get out of beta? Entirely possible. A lot of these maps were work in progress, but never saw further progress. We'll go with it. We'll go with it. I'm pretty sure there was a version 3 of this map. So again, this is kind of like a runabout sized map, so if you only had a few people, this was a great map to be on. I think very close quarters, I think very small, close together. But it did have some nice little flourishes to it, like this thing comes out. Pretty damn sure. He says, maybe, I'm sure there's a later version of this map. Like this thing comes down, right? Yes. I'm sure there's a version of this map where there's a, I mean, it's on a thing. I'm just gonna force it out. There you go. There you go. Little tail we can bring up. It's nice. Little holographic screen here, and again, this is another ship that you could land. So, landing sequence. This would just appear on the planet, though. But if we go back here, we got a little airlock. No, don't want to open the outer hatch. Well, I have now, so close the outer hatch. How do I inner hatch? Close the inner hatch. Now open the outer hatch. There we go. Oh god, I'm dying. Good demo. Good demo because you're actually going to put on your suit. I'm now healed. I'm now very much injured. Hold on, let me revive myself. Why can I not see? Revive me. You gotta put... That didn't work. Hold on. Revive all. Hold on. I'm just gonna use my fucking... There you go. I'm healthy now. The actual fear there. Right. I've got my suit on now. Obviously, I would actually change skin to put my suit on. But this guy doesn't have it, so let's go back to Monroe and put his hazard skin on. He's got no head in the skin for some reason. Oh, he's got a helmet on now. So there's a way in, because there's something here. There's something here on this map. Oh, there's a later version of this map. Hold on. There's a later version of this map. I'm checking the list. This must be V2. There is definitely a V3. Surely. I know there is. Map RPG _ Ariana V3. No? V3? Maybe it's not in by default. Maybe it's one of those you had to get. USS. Hold on, let's try. That's weird. I wonder why it's not included. So basically, on the latest version of this map, I'll see what RPG command is. On the latest version of this map, there's a science base. Like, you're landing on a moon and there's a science base underground, and it was like multi-tiered science base. It was cool. Let's see what RPG command is. I need to blow my nose. I'm gonna hide myself. So this was yet another version of this kind of map. Multiple versions of this. People really liked Starfleet Command. This version has little bunkhouses, apparently. We'll see if this has got the courthouse in. One of these was a courthouse. It's like a little conference room. It's a random door in the middle of this fountain. Oh, this had a whole thing going on. Oh, man. Alright, I don't think this actually had the... It's crashed. It's crashed. Well, I don't know. It's a shame. I would have, if I'd known those maps weren't in, I would have tried to hunt them down and pop them in, because they would have been cool to show off. But you know, we can do that another day. We can always have another look. It was a fun time. Something I need to actually. You know what? There's something else we need to actually see. Hold on. Thankfully, the fact that it's being an old game, we can spin it up in seconds. It's like it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. We may as well go on another map. Aurora was cool. Because obviously you had different maps from different eras, right? You've got the Enterprise D, you've got the Dauntless, you've got the Voyager A long before the Voyager A actually appeared in a TV series. Nimitz was massive. Nimitz was like the Titanic of Elite Force. It was a fucking huge ship. Way too big. Actually, way too big. Dedicated shuttlecrafts were nice. For Defiant, you've got... Orion was a very unique little ship. I think it was based off something in Stargate. Orion. I could be wrong. What should I pop it on? You had city maps, Bajor, assimilated maps. I'll pop it on fucking... For memories, I'll pop it on Serenity. Miami. Yeah, Miami. People made weird little Earth maps, like tiny little things. Here's one everyone recognizes, right? Sometimes background noises were disguised as music in some of these maps. So here's one everyone. There is a much better version of this map. I'm pretty sure it was a V3 of this map. Hold on. You could tell when you could guess the age of a map. If it came from like V1 of the RPG mod, you would teleport between levels. If it came from V2, then you would actually be in the turbo lift. I swear there's a better version of this map. I'm not being crazy. How can it not be here? Well, is what I'm thinking. What's RPG Solaris? I don't know, but I want to go have a look. I'm so used to just pressing T to do commands. RPG Solaris. Oh, this is the fucking... What's the ship in Equinox in Voyager? That style of ship, I'm pretty sure. The Equinox. This was a nice little map. This was a nice map. This was solid. Again, it was a good size. It was a good size. It was feature complete. This is a good little map. There's definitely some people on this list. Admiral Elizabeth Weir, one from the Stargate fans. Nova Class, that's a one. Thank you. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, but I am looking at a name of someone on this list who I have met in real life. He used to be a player. We bumped into each other at a fucking... It wasn't Comic-Con, it was something in Milton Keynes. We were in the queue to meet John Rhys Davis, who plays Gimli in Lord of the Rings, and I met this guy for realsies in real life. It was funny. Very, very funny. He's got a very successful Star Trek-based job now. I've lost it all. It's all fucking gone to time. It was on... Like, all the stuff I made for this was on my YouTube channel, which was not backed up. And somehow I ended up deleting it by mistake. It was... I did something, and YouTube deleted the channel and couldn't restore it. I've got some screenshots. If you're wondering, am I probably coming down with a cold or something? Probably, because I'm always ill. But was engineering like a one-to-one of Voyager? It's gonna happen, Danny. Let's be honest. I'm pretty sure engineering was just kind of, well, Voyagers, yeah. Just like a cleaner version of Voyager's engineering. Very nice. Again, these curved corridors, man. I love it. I fucking love it. Look at this stupid little place. But here's a fun thing that people would do. And again, if I had any of my content, I could actually show it you. So what you could do, you could write a script. You could write a script out of game, and you could press a... Now I'm sneezing. You could press a keybind to begin the script. And what the script could do, it would play music. So, if someone's got... If people were running like a weekly series, they would put together a little music pack, and people would download this music pack. USS Dallas 2 normal, for example. That's a bit creepy, actually. High-speed pursuit. So, you'd press your keybind, the music would play, and you could also have it run these announcements. Can I run it from global chat? No. Gotta be in here. So, bottom right, you can see hello. But you could also do these bigger ones. Like that. So what people do... This is like the Let's LP loading screen now, where you see people's characters and stuff before you load in. So people do this at the start of roleplays. They'd begin the music, and they'd run the script to have people's character names. So... CD93 is as John Smith, for example. So you'd run down the credits of the people who were involved in the roleplay at the start of it. Like an actual fucking opening credit sequence. And you could time it. You could time it to the music. And that's the kind of thing you had to do. You know, it was all text chat. You had to be creative. And people would do that, and people would appreciate it. They'd appreciate you putting the time into actually writing the script. And obviously, as people joined and left, you had to edit the script. And if you change the music, that would throw off all the timings. But again, you would do this for things like... I think you could do things like this. Like, you could do a thing that said... let's go with 6. Alien. Who are you? So if you were communicating with a character who was meant to be like on the view screen, for example, you could have, if you were an admin, you could play the part of that person on the view screen. You know? And that's how you'd do that kind of stuff. Or you could have, you know, if you wanted to transmit a message across the whole ship, you'd do a big one. Abandoned ship. You know, you'd fucking play your dramatic music because shit was going down. Peace battle. Into crisis. Funkified battle. Let's all play 3.0 funk music. You know, fucking you'd throw your abandoned ship message. You'd get your. You'd be over here. This is fucking Torchwood. This is fucking Torchwood music. You'd be doing all this shit, right? I'm pretty sure you can make it shake like permanently. Hold on. Maybe I do it via command. Yep. So you're now making the map shake for everyone. So, you know, it's like the ship has encountered turbulence. Let's make that number bigger so it keeps going. And you could do sound effects. It's not just music. You could do sound effects, which you can't hear. There you go. Some big old explosions. Cue them up. So you could actually simulate all, you know, fun little battle sequences and the ship taking damage. You know, if you wanted to really fuck a place up, like, you do this, you know, boom. Do all that. You'd come in, put a force field down, switch to this, put in some fucking fire and shit, put in some steam. I've crashed the game. You get the idea. You had to be creative, but you could be creative. The tools were there. It was an old game. It was an old engine, but you were pushing it to its fucking limits, and you could do shit that we can't do today, right? We could do shit easier than you can do it today on GTA 5, for example. And it was fun. It was a really fun time. The admin panel was very easy to switch things around and do things on the fly like that. And you could make really, really fun scenes. And again, that's where I started. That's where I started. Like, if I was in no clip, flying around, you could, you know, set up scenes like that. And, you know, it was, I took my... That's where I learned to make cinematic stuff from things that weren't necessarily cinematic. That's where I gained an interest in doing videos that no one else was really doing. And I wish I had it. I'm sure whenever I've been tidying this place, I'm always hoping that I'm going to stumble across an external hard drive with all that shit on it. But this is why all my Let's LP stuff is in Dropbox. It's never happening again. I'm never losing it all again. It's on a separate drive. It's on 2 different drives on my hard drive, and it's all in Dropbox, from beginning to end. I'm not losing all that shit again. But you know, we did. That was the main thing. We did some RP in Jedi Knight Academy as well. There was some Star Wars. There was a Star Wars RP scene running alongside on the go. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Fenkirk, as you asked earlier, and you know, if anyone's... I'm probably going to put this VOD on YouTube. If anyone's out there, you know, and you've got an interest in roleplay and you own GTA 5, before, you know, the final months of GTA 5 being the dominant GTA, the only GTA, letsrp.co.uk. The roleplay never stops. Letsrp.co.uk. Check it out on YouTube. youtube.com/@letsrp. All lowercase, one word. Yeah, Jedi Knight Academy RP was amazing. One day, We'll fire up Jedi Knight Academy, look at some RP maps and that, right? What was the one I always advertise? Atlantica. Hold on. Jedi Knight Academy, Atlantica. There it is. It's like a fucking underwater Atlantis style RP map. I mean, it was a free-for-all map by trade, but it was an RP map for realsies. Very good stuff. Thank you, Danny. You can see it. Whether you're watching live or watching on the VOD, there's the link to the Let's RP YouTube channel. Go check it out. Go see some of the stuff that we're making on an RP server these days in 2025. Who knows what the future holds, you know? Who knows what happens when GTA 6? Do we all get distracted? Do we all get distracted and we're all spending way too long playing GTA 6 that we haven't got time to open our cat cafes and, you know, do our Weasel News jobs anymore? Who knows? It's going to be weird. It's going to be fucking weird. I'm looking forward to seeing how weird it is. Or maybe we're all just doing this for another 3 years. Who knows? Who can say? Who can say? But yeah, you know, I gotta say, that's where I learned to do RP-based content. That's why I learned to be creative with the tools at my disposal. And, you know, as I say, I was 14 when I started. I'm 32 now. I've been doing this a long time. Now, as many of us here have been doing, whether it was Elite Force or Jedi Knight or Gmod, whether you started in Minecraft, whether you're starting in Roblox, you know, the journey never ends. But I wish, it's easy to say this, I wish I knew the potential of it then. I wish I knew when I was 14 what I would still be interested in doing when I'm 32. I wish. It's a lesson, right? Even if you don't believe it yourself. If you have a passion on something, if you have a passion doing something, and other people tell you that you might be good at it, have a little faith. You know, have a little faith. Obviously, my life would be different. I'm glad things worked out the way they did. I've said this before. You know, I've been very lucky with my real career. I'm in a good place with my like real life career. But it's not a creative one. It's not I don't have, you know, it's not a creative job I have. It's a very logical job. Knowing what I know now, I wish that back then in 2017 when I was 14, I still had a few years left of school. I wish I had leaned more into a creative, you know, line of work, or, you know, I wish I had seen that as a possibility back then. I was very good at creative writing back then. I got a lot of credit for creative writing at school, both in primary school and secondary. So I always wanted to create stories and tell stories, and I found a way of. I hope that I found a way of doing that in a weird niche kind of way now. But who knows? You know, if you think you're good at a thing, make sure you explore the thing before you rule it out as a possibility, or you might end up regret it. I found a way to tell stories in video form and create new stories for Weasel News. That's how I do it now. That's how I do it now. And yes, I cheat in Wordle, clearly. That's what people are saying about me. I can't, you know. I'm not gonna sit here thinking I have to defend myself. So you gotta draw your own conclusions. What can I say? You gotta draw your own conclusions. That's gonna do it for now, for today. I've got a DM here about Smite 2. Thanks for that, Danny. I'm gonna go take care of that. I was so tempted. I was so tempted when Jeremy Corbyn was here, actually here, like last week or the week before. I was very tempted to go along for a pitch, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Yeah, I was gonna do it. I was gonna do it here. I expect more Let's RP action next week, of course. I might jump on this afternoon, actually, depending on if there's people on. Go and open up Who knows? I've been playing a lot of Hollow Knight. I'd started a Hollow Knight run not that long ago, and I'm rushing to wrap it up before I dive into Silk Song and lose even more of my life. I've been playing that every day. I'm really enjoying it again. Death Stranding 2. One day I will return to Death Stranding 2. I still want... Not Death Stranding 2, Death Stranding fucking 1. Which I'm also working through for some reason. I've been diving into Hitman 3 on and off as well, which is funny. Don't know why. Napoleon, we might need to get the band back together for Helldivers soon. There's vote. You can go. Fucking the Hive Lord is out there. The Hive Lord is out there. Go check out the Hive Lord. Think shit has got real, as it always does. Caves. We can go into caves now. The galaxy needs us. Yes, but the boss of the Terminids has finally appeared. Well, not the boss of the Terminids, but, you know. The highest the Terminids went in Helldivers 1, I believe, has arrived in Helldivers 2. So there's more stuff to check out there. We've been playing a bit of Dead by Daylight, some of us recently as well. I would like to stream some of those moments, because they are very fun games. I think we should stream some Dead by Daylight soon, again. Even if we just get some more nurse practice in, because... I feel like there's some more nurse activity in my future. What can I say? I'm just I like to be a clinician. There's some stuff going on in Let's RP that I might need to stream. I haven't streamed much recently, but I can reveal that Codependent is out in the world. And I spent some time at Pillbox recently. We're gonna see where that goes. We'll probably stream a bit of that depending on how it goes. We'll see where that takes us. One of our former characters back in action. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Until then, I hope you've had a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I will see you next week, when, assuming I'm not even more ill as I lose my ability to speak, right here live in front of you all. You're welcome, Danny. Until then, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Thank you for resubs as well. And thank you, Fenkirk, for coming in and hanging out with us. I appreciate that. It's been good to see. It's good to have a newcomer here for this particular stream. And yes, we like to hang on to the past here so that we can appreciate our present and our future. All right, that's me done. Goodbye. Goodbye. Speaking of the past, Unreal Tournament 99, Facing Worlds. Am I right?